Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Grits and Glitter. I am Rev Skip Jennings.
I am Terry Dyer. What up, y'all?
Happy Pride.
Well, I mean, it's basically June 1st, right? Like
Yeah,
we're
I mean when this
recording.
launch, when this goes out, it
That's
will
true.
be June.
That's
So
true.
it's Pride.
That's true. That's true. Well, happy Pride, y'all. You know, it's my favorite
Happy
month of
Pride.
the year. So,
Why?
well, somebody was born in the summer month, honey.
Oh, so you must be talking about me because my birthday is June 23rd as well, you know.
I
So
know.
we talked about this in the last show. This is why we get along so well because
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
are Gemini, I'm Gemini Cancer, but
Yes,
you have a major blessing because you Juneteenth. So you
I
queer, black,
am.
and fabulous.
As we've been saying, we are blackety black, black, black.
And black and fabulous. I love it. What's going on,
Yes.
man?
Oh man, it's been a whirlwind of the last couple of weeks. How about
Are you
you?
tired? Are you tired?
Beyond. You can't see it. You can't see it, child. She looking real rough right now.
I've been watching how you're living on the gram.
Yes, yes. She's been all
Ooh,
over the
tell her
place.
I can't tell your business out there. I won't put your business out there.
I
But tell
mean,
our
it's
listeners
already
what
there's a book out there. It's open.
this week leading up to Pride, this has been extraordinary for you. Tell our listeners, how's it been extraordinary?
Oh my gosh. You know how we talk about manifestation, and if we really just put positivity and light and love out there in the world, then things will come back to us in the same form. I truly believe that that is happening right now. You know, I just returned from a little mini few day vacation in New York. We had a little, kind of cameo on the Sherry Shepherd television
Yes, you
show.
did. Yes, you did.
Yes.
All the
Ended
way
up at
live,
the
brother.
Yes, right. So much. And unfortunately, viewers will not get to see this part, but during the taping of the show, they handed me the microphone sitting in the front row, and I sang to the Sherry
What'd you
Shepherd show.
sing? What'd you
Well,
sing?
they have a DJ. So the DJ was playing. When I tell you, it was a party from the moment we walked into the studio to the moment we left. DJ Sus One, shout out, is no joke. He was playing old school R&B mixed with new school. There was Whitney, there was Mariah, there was Earth, Wind, and Fire. There was all kinds of stuff he was playing. So when they
I
handed me
love
the
it.
mic, there was a
Yeah.
mix of Whitney Houston playing. So
Oh my God, that is
yeah, yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah. It was
Sherry
incredible.
Shepherd. Oh my God. Yeah. My favorite part is when she comes in and says, "Hi, family." Hey, Sherry. Did you say that? Hey, Sherry. Did you go?
Okay, so here's what's funny. There's a
Yeah.
moment after she said that on the tape, and I don't know if you watched the show yet, but there's a moment where the camera comes to I'm right there.
I know. I saw you. I saw you. I saw
Wait,
you.
So this afternoon I was at the gym, and
Yeah.
I'm in the locker room putting the bag away, and a
Yeah.
gentleman comes in. He goes, Terry, I know. Were you on the Sherry Shepherd show?
And it begins.
Yes,
And it
yes, yes.
begins. Oh
It was
my.
amazing. It was
That is
amazing.
so
Yes.
awesome. And then I saw pictures of you on a yacht.
A yacht? Me on a yacht?
Were
No.
you not on a
Well,
yacht? Were you not
on
on a
my
boat?
Instagram, did you see that there is a picture that's pinned to my Instagram where last year I was asked to do a big huge campaign for
Right.
Marriott Bon Voyage
I saw
experience.
it.
Yeah, so that's on there. That's on there. But this past week, in addition to Sherry Shepherd, I am in what I think is probably one of the most amazing pieces of work and projects that I've ever been a part of. Shout out to 66 Films
Yes.
and who's local to South Florida, and Hollywood Arts and Culture Center, who produced a documentary called Queer Dialogues, Allyship. And oh my gosh, it debuted on South Florida PBS this past week as well. So things are just moving and shaking, and so many people have watched it. So many people have reached out and, oh my gosh, and this is so phenomenal and heart-wrenching and gut-wrenching and all that type of stuff. So it's been an insanely crazy, amazing last couple of weeks.
Oh my goodness. That is powerful. And congratulations on all your success. And what I text you the morning after you were in the opera, I saw, go to his Instagram, y'all, see him on the opera, the guy at the opera. And he was the only person there that looked so incredibly queer, black, and fabulous. He had on this black jacket with no shirt on, and it was cut to the T. You look so good. I said, oh shit, there he is.
Right,
there he is.
right.
There's the grits and glitter.
What I love
Yes.
about it is literally one of my favorite pieces that I own. And it was specifically it's custom. It was made for me and tailored to my body, which is amazing, right?
Yes.
What I love is people see the front and it's elegant and sophisticated and classy, and then there's party in the back. You turn around and the tuxedo is cut out. So you
I
get
wish
to
I had a
see
picture.
all of my back. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
So part of this, I'm writing this book on how do you thrive, 10 steps of thriving from 50, older, and I'm embracing 60. I know I look good for anybody who's 40, trust. But people ask me, how do you do this? And I said, well, self-love is key. When you are hitting at 50, you have to really push forward in self-love and loving yourself. What is your confidence marker for you to wear something like that? Because not all of us can wear incredible clothes like that, but you look so good. And I saw you in a fashion show last night. You were strutting. What is this confidence and this self-love that comes out in you when you're doing these things?
I think for me, and anyone who has read my book understands where I come from. I grew up as one of those people that, although I, had successes growing up where I was in sports and, music as a kid and all these other things, I was not comfortable being in my own skin. We were taught, right, in society as a whole that black isn't always beautiful, or a certain type of black is the only black that's beautiful. And so I am one of those kids, one of those people that grew up looking in the mirror thinking, why does my nose look like this? Why do my ears look like this? Why does everyone say that or not like me because I look different than they do, or my skin color's different, right? I grew up in predominantly white neighborhoods, right? So not being around on a regular basis people that looked and talked and spoke like me and acted like me, all these other things, right? It plays on the self-confidence. It plays on the self-worth. It plays on the awareness to your culture and understanding that, right? So I've done a lot of self-work on finally being comfortable in my own skin to where you can't nobody tell me shit now, right? Like I don't, like it is what it is, right? You don't like it, turn your head. You don't want to see it, don't look at the Instagram, right? Like because what I realize is that there are other people watching. There are other younger generations and other young folks that see you, and they may say, if he can, I can. There's representation in how I feel and how I want to express myself. And there's someone who looks like me or came from where I came from. And if he can do it, so can I. So that's where that confidence comes from.
My brother, you are doing it. And thank you for being out there and doing what you do, because, exactly. I love it. And it gives us permission to live our very best life. So congratulations on your success.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So what's going on with you this past?
Not even that close to being as exciting as you are, but my whole life right now is in the middle of this transition. But what I am doing is, because I really believe in the family network. I believe in your family is your family, being with your family, your chosen family, and not your chosen family, and your blood family. So I've been actually traveling home. You're in New York. I was in New Jersey. So I was my mother celebrating her 91st birthday. And did you see her on Facebook? Did you see her on Instagram?
Honey, she did not look 91. Did not. She had on that hat.
That hat with the glasses.
Slayer church. Yeah, she came to Slayer church.
Church lady. She is absolutely considered church mama. And we are in church, and so check this out. Pastor Days, I love him. He knows I'm a minister, and we, he's a really good guy, solid guy, because I
Yeah.
know a lot of Baptist ministers that don't, they know who I am and whatever. So that's another show. Anyway, so from the pulpit, he says, and I think that's your son there. You shout out my mother 91st birthday, and she stood up and clapped, and everyone's like, happy birthday. And they sang happy, my brother is the music minister there. So he
Oh,
played Happy Birthday, and the choir sang. We sang. It was great. My
oh,
niece and my sister-in-law next to my mom. So we sing all in harmony because we grew up singing in churches and all that. And then the Pastor Days went, and I thought that was you up in the gym, pointing to me. And he says, you were working hard. And I didn't want to come up and say hi to you because you can't roll up on people like that anymore. You were working really hard. You were working hard like you from the West Coast. And I was saying, thank you.
that's right.
Because I don't take time off, and I make sure that mom knows, oh, you're getting up at 5:30. You must be going to the gym. I am, mom. I'll see you in the morning. But I love that. It was Memorial Day celebrate. I'm not saying celebration, I'm saying commemoration. Memorial
Yes,
Day, because people died, in the midst of war. And that's what we're
absolutely.
remembering. So
Right.
my mom's birthday is part of that, time. So we have, the barbecue, and we did all that. And my plant-based diet kind of went out the door.
Ooh,
So I was eating
she
stuff that I
cheated,
hadn't
y'all.
eaten
She
in a long
cheated
time.
on her diet. She
I
cheated on
know,
her diet. Y'all
you
heard it
know.
here first.
I had subs. I had barbecue. I
Okay.
had barbecue chicken. It was just mama. They cooked mama like 3 different cakes. I had cake after cake
Oh.
after cake. But what's cool about this? Did not gain a pound. Because remember the
Oh.
health and fitness episode, last episode that just dropped, we talked about preparing yourself. If you do the
Yes,
work leading up to these special holidays, hello.
that's right.
And so I
That's
was
right.
like, I was good. And I got up every morning, did my gym, not a day I didn't miss a day at the gym. And so it was wonderful. I mean, going home and being around my family, and of course, we do at barbecues. They got to bring out the cards and those
Come on,
conversations.
Spades. Yes,
Those
yes.
conversations. Now there is, and you know me, I went fighting because I'm part of Beehive. I went fighting. Half of them love Beyonce's album, the other half doesn't. I'm going, ooh, this is
Oh,
going to be the
uh-oh.
conversation. This is the conversation for a lot of barbecues.
Right.
Beyonce, Country Carter, and my little niece. And I thought she was like, oh, I love it. She's like, I can't get with that, Uncle Skip. I'm going. She says it's not like Renaissance where you can sit down and listen to the whole thing. I went, but it's so important. She goes, I don't care. And so, but check this out.
Uh,
Shea traveled from New Jersey to Houston to see the Renaissance concert. And she loves Beyonce that much, but she's
wow.
not liking the album. She likes it. She's like, some songs are okay, but it's not a sit down, listen to the whole thing. And them fighting words for me.
Listen,
You talking
what's
about
your niece's name
me.
again? What's your
It's
niece's name
Shea.
again?
Shea.
Shea. Girl, Shea, you watching? Girl, we right here. We right
No,
here.
listen,
Me and
Linda.
your uncle, we don't see eye to eye.
Listen,
We don't
Linda.
see each other
That ain't right.
on this subject.
That ain't right. But I got to tell you, I realize how traditions and cultures, we have our traditions and cultures. You
We
have those
do.
conversations, you can disagree, and you can be very passionate about it and love each other. You can play
Absolutely.
cards, eat barbecue. That's how we do. And you can't call it a picnic. You know why you can't call it a picnic?
Well, I can think of many reasons why you can't call it a picnic, but I will refrain until till the
I'll,
audience believes and trusts in us.
I'll tell them. Maybe I won't, but I'll tell them you can't call it. Do not call your gatherings a picnic anymore. Look it up. Google it.
Ask your mama.
Ask your mama. Oh my God. All right. We got a big did you know?
It's pride. It's pride. So we got to talk about, the amazingness of what's coming up this month. So let's hit it. Let's hit it.
So what's your did you know?
So my did you know is, and everybody should know
Lock him up.
what
Oops.
just happened. Oh, you said it. Lock him up. Lock him up. So, all right. So, as we all probably know, former President Donald Trump was convicted on all 34 charges.
Lock
All
him up.
34 charges. So, let me ask a very, very, very poignant question. Do
Okay.
you truly believe that these convictions make any difference with respects to him running and potentially winning?
I think it will make a difference in two different ways.
Okay.
Those who are hardcore Trumpers, the Trumpian Republican Party, they're going hard to support him. And
Yeah.
that's going to bring
Yeah.
people that are out, that are like on the fence and going, yeah, I kind of like Trump and his rhetoric, and they're going to come. And I also believe there's another group of people that are undecided, that who are liberal and who are independent. They're going, well, this fool, he might not go to jail, but I'm going to
Right.
tell you honest truth, he's a felon. He's a
Correct.
criminal, and you
Correct.
cannot deny his criminal activity.
I agree. But
People gonna
here's
write
so
in,
I know, don't get mad at us. We just, laying it all out on the
we just
line here
talking,
for
we just
y'all, right?
talking,
We
right?
just talking.
We just
But
talking.
here's my next question to you with respects to
Yeah,
exactly what you just said, as with him now being a convicted felon, right? Or felon, or however you want to say it, or however it's
felon,
said, is
felon.
so he's a felon. He's a felon. So do you oh, I got so many questions.
This is our conversation.
I got
This is
so
what
many
did you
questions.
know?
I got
Good.
so many questions.
Go.
So, considering that what you just said with respects to people coming out and supporting him in
Yeah,
droves now, right? Like
yeah.
because they think it's a conspiracy, and he's on the news saying, "Oh, that judge had it in for him," and blah 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 blah, right? Do you think that America as a whole entity will say yes to putting a convicted felon into office?
I believe it, because remember, he was a criminal when he got elected the first time.
The first time.
The first
Right.
time.
Right.
Here's the point that I think we really could have a very deep conversation. Those who regretted him going into office the first time, will they flip back over to support? You might not like Biden, trust me.
Right.
Not a lot of
Right.
people do like Biden, but do you
Right.
want someone who is in the office that you might think that, okay, he might not be the sharpest knife
Right.
in the bunch, but he's not a criminal?
Correct. Correct.
Listen, I really believe that this is a great conversation that we're going to have for the next 6 months, 7 months.
Great. It's an
And
important conversation. Yeah.
it's a very important conversation. Here's my question to you. Do you think the Biden campaign, I have not even heard them say anything about this.
He
And
was
I'm
on
saying,
today. He was
was he
on
on
today.
today?
I
Okay,
was at the gym, and I saw the headlines with him speaking out, and I don't know what he said. Of course, I was at the gym, but
right.
he did come out and make a statement about the guilty charges. Here's my another follow up, right?
Right.
Let's call a spade a spade. If
Okay.
this was Obama, first of all, let's be real, or a black man, a person of color, a woman getting convicted like this, do you truly believe that they would be getting the graces, if you will, that this man is getting?
No, and this is, I love that you brought this up, because yeah, if it was Obama, he'd be under the jail right now.
That part.
There'd be
Lock him
no
up.
waiting. They would have dropped in. Here's the thing, and I love what Joy Reid said on MSNBC on the readout. She said that he was hardcore, lock up the exonerated five from the
Yes. Yes.
from Central Park
Yes.
that were innocent. He was like, let's execute them. He
Mhm.
was so
Mhm.
hardcore, like the police should not ever be, reprimanded for hardcore activities. He was like, lock her up. The champ lock her up came from him. He was
Yeah.
so hardcore. Now he's using another strategy to say that, oh, and this is unjust, and the people have gone
Right.
after people like this unjustly, and he's He's taking on the plight of Black and brown people that we've been talking about
Correct.
this forever,
Correct.
and now he's using it. Oh,
Correct.
don't let me
Correct.
start on this.
Correct.
He's
Correct.
using the same, and I believe, and the great thing that we have right now is that we know for a fact that everything was above board. They did
Right.
everything right. They waited. The prosecutor waited. The prosecutor said,
Yes.
we're not going into this battle until we have everything lined
That's right.
up.
That's right.
So
And I remember that months ago. I remember that conversation months ago
yeah,
from the prosecutor, and people were saying, "Well, why? You've got this." No, make sure that you've dot your I's, you cross your T's, because if you're gonna swing, right, you have to hit this home run. You can't swing and
right.
miss because
You
it's
can't.
gonna come back and bite all of us in the butt, right? So I think it was smart. I love the fact, obviously, that he was convicted of all these things, and it's clearly on record now.
Yes, it's on record now, and
Right.
people are saying that he probably won't go to jail for this.
Of course not. Now that's
And
one thing I think they won't do. They're not going to put him in jail, right?
but if it was a Black man, he would have been going to
Ooh,
jail, and he would have been going to
100%.
jail on the sentencing day, and he is being sentenced on July 11th, and he's trying to get out of that now because
Of course.
of the convention.
Of
So
course.
I think they should just put his ass in jail for 30 days that he cannot
Right.
be at the
Right.
convention. And if you
Correct.
want to do a broadcast from the jailhouse, show your ass from the jailhouse behind bars, because Martin Luther King had to go to jail. They put Martin
Hello?
Luther King in
Hello?
jail.
Hello? Right.
Okay, I'm just
Right.
saying, and I
Right.
believe he went to jail during the Democratic convention in the 60s, or
In
I
the
believe in the
60s.
60s something. And so yeah, we'll put his ass in jail for the convention of the Republican convention. And this is the last thing. I'm so heated right now. I'm so heated. This is the last thing. Them stupid ass we got to get an E rating because I'm
We
cursing
are
now.
going to get an E rating.
Them stupid ass Republicans who stand up for him, like Ted Cruz. Donald Trump went after your daddy, said that you killed
Right.
JFK,
Right.
talked about
Right.
how ugly your wife was, and you're going to,
Right.
how much do you have to get screwed up the butt without Vaseline? I'm just saying.
Not Vaseline. She said Vaseline. Oh, he old school. Old school. You
I'm
know
just
they got a thing
saying.
called lube now, right?
Little Marco Rubio, our senator,
Right.
and it's like, oh, this is an injustice. Shut up, little Marco. It's like, oh,
No, what is an, let me not stop. I'm like, what is an injustice is y'all's crooked and corrupt ways. That's what's an injustice, right?
I know.
Let's be real.
I know.
Let's be real.
Child. We
I
got to have
know,
another
I know.
big did you know. We got to change this.
Yes,
but this is
yes.
not the
What's
last
your
time.
did you know?
This is not the last time you're going to hear about Trump, I'm sure, because we got an election year that's coming up. So, and it's no, listen, I believe that, and I keep saying I'm going to shut it down. I believe that we need to step up for what is righteous and what is right action. And we believe that this person's a criminal. So did you know, and I used to kind of like Pope Francis.
I know.
I thought he was going to be progressive, and yeah, okay, he is, I guess in some ways, but he's still behind the times with gay priests. So in a closed door conversation, I think it was a group of bishops, he used a gay term.
Right.
He used a gay slur, which is, I think it's, let me get this right, because I don't know Italian. I'm gonna try to say it. It's called fagotismus, I guess, whatever, and which means faggot.
Right.
And I learned a long time ago, being a minister, watch your mic. Your mic could be on. Watch who's gonna be watching you. For me, this is really sad because we are trying to bridge gay people into their own spirituality, because we have a great article for Pride that's coming out about that, about allowing gay people to be spiritual and have their traditions. And you have the Pope that's going to call out gay priests in a slur. And not just when I heard that, I was like, really? We're back here. We're back here.
Listen, I am a firm believer, and I hope y'all write in and be a part of the conversation with these things. Again,
Please.
keep subscribing, keep liking. We talk about these things because we want to spark the conversation, right? We
Yes.
want folks to be educating themselves and be talking about these things. So I say this, let's be real, especially in the Catholic religion, right? I mean, in all religions, but
Mhm.
there's so much homosexuality and LGBTQ folks and things that they have been doing against, religion, that's against the Bible and all these things. How dare you put things out there when you know good and well that y'all are not clean and innocent and holier than thou, right? So
Yeah.
how dare you create this negative space and use these connotations that against a certain community and demographic when you are no saint. You have
Yeah.
literally done things against human beings that are against the law. Put your behind in jail, right along with Cheeto. How about that? How about
You
that?
know, we talked about this. I think it was episode 2. It was Rise in Harmony. We talked about
Mhm.
the marginalization in music industry, the marginalization in the churches. Episode 3. Go back, y'all, and listen to that episode. It's one of my favorite episodes that we did. Um, I believe that this is a time that we have to have more inclusive language in everything we do, especially if we're in leadership. You, the Pope
Agreed.
of the biggest church that's out there. You, the
That's right.
Grand Pope,
That's right.
and I don't care if this is in your heart, but when you're in public and you feel safe and you want to use that, you thinking that nobody's going to hear you. Well, hello, we
We
did.
are
He
right, loud
apologized.
and
Now,
clear.
here's my question to you: these damn apologies after people got caught.
No,
How do you
no,
feel about
no,
these stupid apologies
no.
after people get caught?
I agree that we all make mistakes.
Yeah,
Perfection does not exist. We all make mistakes. And what for me, if you come back immediately and own up to your mistake, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. It's not how whatever the case may be, right? Don't wait until your PR person steps in and says, you've got to retract this, you've got to make this right. It's your public persona. They're going to crucify you, dot, 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 dot. Don't wait until somebody steps up
yes,
to say, let's fix this because you should not have done this in the first place. You have to take the ownership and step up with your tail between your legs and say, it was a slip, a Freudian slip, I don't know. You've got to own it and then come back and
I love that.
say, you're apologizing, right? Don't wait till somebody else comes to you, calls you, your people call the people and say, oh, we got to correct this. That's not authentic apology.
Here's the thing, and I love this. I got to do a little bit more research on the spokesperson. His name is Matteo Bruni. He issued a statement,
Of
but
course he did.
but I want to go a little bit deeper on this. Was it somebody in their camp that told the Italian news of what? Because that
Mm-hmm.
was a closed meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
somebody was queer up in there when going, you think you're getting away with that? I'm gonna
Correct.
tell somebody. I'm
That's the
gonna tell
problem.
mama. Ooh, I'm gonna
Right.
tell
That's
mama.
the problem. You never know who's in earshot of when you're using that microphone, right? So you never know who
No.
you're going to offend. And just because you're the Pope, boo, you're held to an even higher standard,
Hello.
right?
Hello. That's the
Right?
first thing you
You
learn
are
in seminary. First thing you
100%.
you learn in seminary and in ministerial school. You now live in a fishbowl. People watching
Right.
because of that
Right.
title. That's why
Right.
I almost and I forgot to take my title off. I went well, not I normally just
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
Skip Jennings because I don't know what I'm going to say up in here, and I want people to go ooh, but
Listen, and there's already a couple of pastors, secular pastors right now that are in some trouble. Mhm.
But here, there is. I'm not going to call anybody out because I don't believe in it's.
We call
I've
him
heard it's
Ian.
true.
We call him Ian. That's what we do.
I'm not going to call anybody in. I'm not going to out anybody. But one of my favorite gospel singers, and it's been rumored for years, and he's a bishop, and I listen to his music
Hmm.
almost every day, and
Hmm.
it's hitting the surface again. So here's my thing: if you're a Christian, which I'm a universalist. People ask me, what are you? I'm a universalist. I pull from Christianity, from Buddhism, from Hindu. I pull from the Tao. I pull from world religion. And I believe it all comes from the universe. That's why I call myself a universalist. But if you're a Christian and you believe that only thing you have to do is accept Christ as your savior, whatever you want, then everything else, because everything else should not be on the table. We should
Right.
like stop bringing up people's sexual, their activities and saying, "Oh, you sin and you this and this and this and this." I'm like, but you just said the only thing you got to do is accept Jesus Christ as your savior, and you're going to, boom. Well, hello, something's happening here. There is a disconnect.
Right.
And listen, I'm gonna put up right now. You can hit me up on social media at Rev Skip Jennings. I'll put it up there, and
Right. They're gonna come for
oh,
you. I don't know her. I don't know her.
I love you, brother. Whew, that was a heated. Did you know, Charles?
Listen, we've got a lot of heated stuff coming, but
Yeah, we do.
at this time, we want to give a little shout out to one of our most amazing advertisers and partners in this incredible journey of our podcast, Cooper Stein Metz Enterprises. Shout out to y'all. They are a brokerage firm that carries your trust. Who's
yours?
They are one of the world's fastest growing third-party logistics worldwide. They are based in beautiful sunny Palm Springs, California, and they transport all of your freight, which includes, by the way, refrigerated and dry goods. You can reach them at 209-213-7091, and their website address is aabrokerageInc.com. I'm sure you can see that flying across our beautiful screen here. AA Brokerage. In that direction. Right. Shout out to Chad and Jamie.
Thank you, Chad.
Yes, we love y'all. Y'all need that freight handled.
That could go many ways, my brother. That could go many ways, my brother.
It's Pride Month.
I know, right? But let's check this
y'all
out.
Call them. Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
And I can't wait to meet them because I think I'm going to claim it. Labor Day weekend. Where are we gonna be?
We working on it. We working on doing some things in Palm Springs.
And getting a few more
in a little bit.
A few more advertisers, investors coming up. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yes.
All right, brother man. What we getting into next?
Well, it's the grits, and in the grits, we're talking about this is Pride Month. So thank you, Pride Month. I think this history of Pride, it's very important to me, but we'll talk about this a little later. I've gone to so many prides in my life that I just don't go to prides or get excited about pride again. But I am like, because I have a whole pride t-shirt line. This one says love is love is love. Shameless plug. Go to skipjennings.com. Get your love is love is love t-shirt. You can get it right there, or go to thewakeshop.org. You can get your love is love t-shirt. Anyway, I love it, but I love the history of pride. I love what it means. I don't know about you. The history of pride, is that important to you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I am a firm believer in thoroughly understanding our history in every aspect of it, whether it's African-American history, which, let's be clear, is American history, people. Let's be clear.
That part.
Right? African-American history, American history, LGBTQ history, which I think so often goes under the radar and doesn't get the just due that it needs. So pride does mean, but here I want to be clear about something. Pride for me does not end and start in the month of June.
That part.
Right? You just asked me a moment ago, where does that confidence come from? That confidence also comes because of a tremendous amount of pride in what it has taken for me to stand as a Black gay man in a society that still continues to try to take away my rights, still tries to treat me like a second-class citizen. That's where that pride and that confidence comes from.
And also, too, it's very important that this Pride season is something that should be carried over throughout the year. And one thing that I am really very, very clear about is I'm sick of these corporate organizations that will put the rainbow flag over their logo once a year in
Yep.
June.
Yep.
So come
Yep.
on now, you saying you
Yep.
want to be a corporate ally. I call them corporate allies. So you
Yep.
have what are you doing in those last parts of the other parts of the year where you have trans brothers and sisters being killed? Are you
Right.
out there on the front lines with us? Are you
Right.
just going to be because it's trendy in June? But I'm
Yes.
calling you in, but I thank you for that 1 month. It's like Black History Month.
Right.
Why McDonald's are you celebrating Black History Month and it's the shortest month of the year?
That
And
part.
you are, oh,
That
come
part.
on now.
That
I'm
part.
just
That part.
ooh. So what I wanted to just
Hmm.
give you a little bit of rundown. I have my notes right here. Early activism in 1950. Believe this was actually happening from 1950 to the 60s before we even had the Stonewall riots. It
Right.
came out of a time where queer people were being beat up. They were going to bars, they were being dragged out, they would get in the paddy wagon, and they would be beat
Mhm.
up in the paddy wagon by police officers. And people were getting tired of being beat for loving who you love. They were getting tired of having to be in the closet, so to speak, but in the
Right.
shadows.
Right.
And in New York, it was a huge number of gay, black, white, everyone's being killed. Men, women were being bashed on the streets of the village. So that all was going on. That's part of the history. Like the civil rights movement came out of the desperation of giving us the right to vote and to have a
That's right.
word. This came out of a very sad time in the
Absolutely.
50s and the 60s. And, in that time too, even before that, people were being murdered legally, like in Nazi Germany, and all over parts of the world. People, they used to hang people like you and me.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the worst part, and thank you, Dr. Reverend Skip Jennings, for that
I mean, it's,
history
it's a
lesson.
good Dr. Reverend.
The professor. We'll call him the professor.
Hey.
Thank you for that. No, I think the worst part about this is the
Mm,
fact that this was going on, as you said, in the 50s and 60s. The fact that it's 2024 and we are still
still,
fighting the
that's right.
exact same fight.
That's right.
So a lot of times, and people that I'm in the inner circles with, we all struggle with this from time to time, right? And have these conversations around the fact that we still have to bring this up, the fact that in our current cities that we all reside in, there's still a level of racism, there's still a level of hatred, there's still a level of injustices and murders for
Yeah.
the trans brothers and sisters that you just mentioned. There's still murders for for gay men, things like that in certain parts of the world and the country. The fact that we are still dealing with this completely combats the fact that this country likes to say we've made so much progress and there's so much improvement and there's so much this. Since when, boo?
Yeah.
Since when?
But this
If
is
we're
what
still
happens.
having this conversation, then the progress hasn't
Yes.
truly happened.
And this is where I believe I'm going to say the white, men, mostly white men. I hear that conversation from that.
Yeah.
Oh, you've come so far, black people,
Mm-hmm.
women, gay
Mm-hmm.
people, because you're afraid that we're taking something away from you. When we're speaking
Right.
equality, you're
Right.
you're 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 afraid that we're taking your little edge.
Right.
Because if we
Right.
start at the race, you had a long road that you had before we can even start the race.
Right. Right.
So,
And it's an inferior complex, right? You afraid that
yeah,
we're going to surpass you or we're going to take things from you, job opportunities, money. There's a fear. Child, I'm going to get going. Let me stop. So, because we talked about religion.
yeah,
Religion is truly like there's a level of fear base in the religion, right? And folks that like to use that as a fear complex, right?
yeah,
There's fear in what we're talking about now with respects to racism and having to fight for equality. You're scared that the level of differences and people are going to surpass you or they want to
yeah,
take from you. This ain't a competition. We're not in the sports, honey. This is not a board game, right? Like this
yeah.
is life.
It's powerful. It's powerful when you really get to look at the root of this fear of losing something.
Mm-hmm.
But in 1969, and I was, let's see, I was 5 years old. In 1969, I know some queen says, not tonight,
Right.
not tonight. June 28th, 1969 Stonewall riots happened. And so I always have a special place for my trans brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
the drag queens, because they were the ones who kicked it off
Right.
and said, no, we are not
Agree.
doing. Can you imagine what it was like on that night in the village? What was that? I mean, you ever
I
think about that?
cannot. I can't imagine. I obviously have studied, a lot of African American history, a lot of LGBTQ history. I used to, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area, I used to guest lecture in the school district and at universities around LGBTQ history and issues and
Yeah.
everyday life and things like that. So this will always, speak to my heart and who I am as a human being, because I believe that we have to continue to celebrate the history and understand the history in order to know how to navigate our present and move forward in our future.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like we have to make sure that we're not forgotten. And the folks like Marsha P. Johnson is not forgotten. Right.
Absolutely.
We have to continue to celebrate those who have paved the way and allowed us to be in the space we are. This is what's so fascinating to me, right? And sorry, because I will be that controversy person and call you Ian
You're
to the
loud.
table, right?
You're loud.
Listen, the fact that we still have so much hatred and bullying and racism, specifically from gay white men around and in these smaller towns and things like that, you are here. You are allowed to do what you're doing because of a Black trans woman. You are here because somebody fought for your ass to be here.
His name is Dyer, y'all.
Look, I said what I said today, right?
We're gonna get a lot of emails in. We're gonna get a lot of emails in.
It has been that kind of week. I said what I said. You have the privilege and the autonomy to do what you are doing now, but that does not give you the right to turn around and bully and do what you're out here, especially like equality groups, equality organizations, Equality Florida, HRC. You are in that space because of people like Marsha P. Johnson. You're in that space because drag queens fought for your right to be in this space now. So how dare you now say, oh, I don't like those people. Boo, we are you. You are us. Child, let me stop. Look, they ain't ready. Let me stop.
I'm sitting here. I'm going, okay.
Let me stop.
It's okay.
I get fuels. Like it, I racism.
I know you do.
Like it just,
as we say in church, take a breath. Take a holy breath.
Oh, she could
breathe. It was a year later in 1970, we had our first march. And that was not sanctioned. That was like, we doing it. We're going to have a gay pride march. We're marching through the streets. And that really kind of launched where we are today. Expansion of pride events throughout the world literally came from that first pride march. So San Francisco, one of the greatest pride marches I ever have experienced was in San Francisco. I mean, and I've gone to so many prides. When I was in my younger days at NYU, it was a thing. We went to pride, went to the pier dance. In New York City's Dykes on Bikes, man, started off the roar. And I remember in New York City, it was in the height of the AIDS epidemic, and we were. I'm a part of Queer Nation. I was a part of HRC, a part of a lot of different movements. And I remember we did a lie-in, and it was all planned. That at a certain time, we all just laid on the floor of the parade, on the ground. We were marching the parade. And we just laid on the ground and we just laid there. We laid there for, I think it was 5 minutes, and it was so quiet. And I remember how the impact of what I was feeling in that moment, I had a myriad of different experiences. It was fear that I was going to die. And at that time, I didn't know I was HIV positive. I wasn't HIV. I didn't convert until 96. And this is well earlier than this. I remember tears running down my eyes and going, okay, this is so needed. And I'm proud to be out here to be able to do this. And it was a really interesting moment and shift in my life. Pride brought me to a place of who I am today.
Yeah.
And so, wow. And then from the pride movement comes the quilt.
Mm.
And the quilt being shown during pride events, and just every time I saw the quilt, it just oh, oh.
Well, I also think that pride means different things to different folks, right?
Hmm.
What I hope and pray is that in this day and age, people really take ownership in whatever pride they feel and
Yes.
allow that authenticity to be shown, in whatever forms of pride they like to display. We were talking about corporations and allyship with respects to pride, and we see it all over. It's become a phenomenon to where it's money driven, right?
Yeah.
Organizations and I love my Target, but let's be real, like they put the rainbow colors all over in their stores and in merchandise and all those sorts of things. I know other department stores and things do the same. That's all good and well. It's great. It is a step, and we need that step, right? But understand that LGBTQ people are not just present from June 1st to June 30th. That's not how
Yeah.
that works, right?
So
So,
how do we invite our these corporate allies? I'm gonna call them corporate allies. They want to be allies, but they're not really sure if they're doing the
right.
right thing. How do we get them more involved throughout the year? What would you have them do to really show up? I know what I want them to do.
I think they need to understand that representation matters throughout the
Yeah.
entire year, right? So
Hmm.
we need to see LGBTQ folks in your space. You need to be providing resource groups, employee resource groups that are focused to Black, Brown, women, Asian, LGBTQ, right? You need to represent every
Yes.
demographic, every folks, because guess what? Those folks are spending money in your space,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
And
So
I
that's what
think
I would
part
do.
I think part of this too is we talk about making a difference on this planet, and I think it's so important that we look at this. I believe there are things that we can be doing, these corporate allies, that goes further than saying, "Hello, I am, I'm an ally. Look at our
Right,
colors. I'm going to put out a
right,
T-shirt that says I'm with the queers."
right.
How about taking some of those billion-dollar funds that you have, creating a space for homeless LGBTQA plus
Yes.
youth? That
Hmm.
is the number one youth that's on the streets right now are our queer brothers and sisters.
Right,
How about getting those funds? Because people think that the AIDS epidemic is over. It's not. We just
right,
learned how to live with it. Back in the day when we were trying to get Reagan to say the word and act up, we were doing everything, and then we got the cocktails, and somewhere we forgot that we still have something's going on. That's another show that's coming up for Pride. We're gonna have that, but I'm just saying that these corporate allies need to be putting their money where their mouth is to support us
absolutely,
fully, not just 1 month.
absolutely.
Our health care, our families, places to live. How are you making a difference on the planet for everyone? Ooh,
Absolutely.
ooh,
Absolutely. I think that's just so incredibly important. And I think in this day and age, as we are incredibly uncertain of where we are going politically and who's going
yeah,
to be in
ooh,
office later this year, I think all those sorts of things, to me, they're all wrapped up together. It's a vicious cycle. And for me, when I watch society as a whole, I'm always thinking to myself, when is it going to stop? Right?
yes,
I look at the bishop that you talked about. That is what the bishop and Diddy and all these people have been doing, right, or are accused allegedly of doing, right. That has been a cultural thing that has been happening in the space for years, right.
you
Uh,
better say allegedly, brother, until
I know, I'm sorry, I forget. I think it's happened, but that's just me. That's just my opinion, right? But fine, allegedly happened, right? That's a cultural thing that
yeah,
Black culture tends to like to sweep under the rug. That don't exist. That don't happen. But then you've got these folks that can't be their authentic selves because of family, because of cultural upbringing, because of money. They want to be famous. Well, you can't have a gay pastor be like the head of Black religion in the world, right? Like let all that stuff go. Like we are
Yeah.
literally spiting ourselves constantly over and
This is
over
the
and
pride
over
that we're
because
talking
we're
about.
afraid to be authentically ourselves. We're
Yeah.
afraid that the Bible that has been rewritten. Listen, I'm gonna keep going and
Well,
going. Let me
that
stop.
is such another
Let me
show because
stop.
we got to get in
Let me
some of this
stop.
glitter in. We got to
It's
get into
so
some of this
deep,
glitter.
y'all. It's
I know it goes
so
deep.
deep.
This is why
Oh,
we're doing this show. This is why we want to
yes.
raise up these voices and have this conversation. So the glitter of all this pride and I love
Yeah.
that we get to talk about the fun side. Um,
Yes.
if someone's listening, Terry, and you've done many prides and I've done many prides, and it's their first pride, and they hit our show, they're going, oh my God, I found this show and I'm listening, I'm listening under my covers, I don't want my mama to hear or whatever. What would you tell someone who's making the decision to go out to Pride for the very first time?
Just be safe.
Yeah.
Just be safe. Just be safe.
Yeah.
Pride has, as we said moments ago, a lot of prides have turned into very like commercialism, right?
Yes.
It's about money, it's about, bars and clubs and night, all
Getting
that kind of
drunk.
stuff. Nightlife, it's about the drinking, it's about the partying. So often I sit back and watch folks at Pride and it gets to me sometimes, right? Because I'm like, you don't even know what you celebrate. You just needed it. You just want an excuse to have a cocktail and drink and get sloppy drunk and wear half clothes, in
And
the
get
street.
laid.
That's all fine. That's all fine, right? I'm
Hey,
not taking away
no
from
judgment.
nobody.
No
Right. Do
judgment,
you,
Joe.
boo. Do
Do
you.
you, boo?
But understand why you are there and why you're able to do that because of that. You know what I mean? Like understand why you now have the space to do that. And there's a lot of prides that have been shut down. We talked about this a
I
few episodes ago
know.
with what's happening in Nashville and different, folks, cities where they're shutting down
Yep.
the prides, because of supposedly, allegedly sexual connotation from drag queens and all these other things, right? Just be safe,
Be
right?
safe. Be
Be
safe.
safe. Have
Hey,
fun,
but be
but be
safe.
safe.
And so, I love that you brought this up because I've watched in prides as well, watching these young kids that are on some drug or somehow. Listen,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
judgment. Listen, I had my time where I can't even tell you the drugs I took.
Y'all heard it here
Be honest.
first. Y'all
And
heard
so
it here
now that
first.
I'm here, I heard that. Now that I'm here and I am the elder, I am the mentor, you gotta really be safe. You gotta really honor while you're there. I
Yes.
remember one pride I was there, I got a chance to meet little Kim. And it was a West Hollywood Pride. And the person I was dating then, he was one of the organizers for West Hollywood Pride. And I got a chance to meet little Kim. And it was just at this point of empowerment. It was just so because I love me, little Kim. I love me some little
Yeah.
Kim. And
Yeah.
she's nasty as she's wannabe, but I love her anyway. And yes, I'm a minister Rev who listens to little Kim. I said it anyway.
She's a
And it
real
was a
person.
wonderful
Okay.
experience. But then I saw this shift where I was watching more of our young brothers and sisters on just really gone out of their heads during probably barely could walk, so drunk or this. And I remember this is very important to acknowledge during the COVID there was a pride that didn't happen. The
Hmm.
following year, when pride did happen, there were more ODs, there were more
Yeah.
drunken disorders, there were more people that were arrested. And I think people are just trying to free themselves, trying
Yes.
to release. But you got to remember the reason why we're there. We're celebrating. And I listen. The last thing I want is for people to see me being arrested. And what that's not pride.
Right. 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 What's prideful about being on the street and upchucking in front of everybody, right? On the street. What
Did you
what
say
is
upchucking?
prideful? I did say upchucking.
What is upchucking? I thought you
Up,
said uptucking.
oh,
It's like what's an uptuck? Is that a drag
is
thing
that
where you
new?
tuck
Is
the other
that
way?
new?
Uptucking. I think I'm gonna use that. Have you uptucked today? Have you been
Uptuck skip,
uptucking?
uptuck Jennings. She go up tuck,
You
y'all.
know, I've been up tucking. I
No,
really thought you said up tucking.
I just think about those things and I'm like, where's the pride in that?
Yeah.
Right? Where's the like have your fun, do you boo? However, keep it cute and classy. Keep it cute and
Keep it cute
classy.
and classy.
I'm
So,
just saying.
what is your favorite part of Pride, though? Because there is some really great, incredible elements. Me, it's the colors. I
Yeah.
love our rainbow, and most people don't know. Here's my
Colors,
rainbow
colors,
T-shirt.
colors.
Love is love is love. Did you know that the rainbow flag is based on the chakra system? Okay, here comes Rev Skip. The chakra system is energy zones, and each energy zone from the root, which is the base of the spine, to the top of your head, there's 7, and they have different colors.
Yeah.
And it starts with red, then orange, yellow, green. It moves into blue, it moves into indigo, and then to violet. These are the colors of the. So some queen who is into spirituality said, "Okay, let's make the flag." But what I do love though, it's a new flag which has the rainbow, and then it has pink, then it has brown. It has all different other colors too. I'm like, okay, this is pretty dope. I like the
Right.
new inclusive flag.
We have, I listen, I will say this, honey, us gays, we will turn everything into
True.
a moneymaker, into listen, we got a flag now for everything, for every inclusive
Everything,
group, for every demographic. Like we
everything.
got flags with hands and fists on them. We got flags with paws on them. We got the trans flag now. Like we got flags for
Yeah, the
everything.
bear flag. Did you see the flag? I
Yes.
saw the with the pole. It was like a bear in the middle of
Mhm.
the thing. I'm going.
Got the
So
leather community flag. Child, we got
does,
everything now.
but do you remember? I'm going to date myself again, and that's okay. I know I'm the older brother here. Do you remember back in the day when you wore? Maybe you don't remember the hankies you wore in what side of the pocket, and if you wore in the right pocket, and this, and
No.
you just you just awful sometimes. I
No.
just want to shake you sometimes. You were just wrong. You're just
I mean,
wrong.
I remember a time where people did it. I think they still do it to a degree, but I was not around when that stuff started.
Lord have
Sorry.
mercy.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
feel so old. That's
Sorry.
crazy. That's so
I will be
crazy.
turning 44 and still being fabulous in a couple of weeks,
There
but
you
yeah.
go. There you go. And then, especially during this time, and I believe that our older, the mentors of the group, the mature audiences are thinking that pride is not for them any longer because of what it's
I
changed
agree.
into. And
I
so
agree.
as we're embracing our place as the mentors, as the elders, we still have to get out there. And so I'm going to make it. I'm going to say, because I don't normally go to
Right.
Pride. And I did go
Right.
to Pride about 2 years ago because the community CSL that I was a
Mm,
senior minister, we walked in the parade. Last year I was in Bali, so I couldn't go. I am going to go this year because I think it's very important for Grits and
yeah.
Glitter to be out there. So Grits and
Hello.
Glitter is going to be out there making our we're here, we're queer, and we got a
Yes.
podcast. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So we're going to be out there and maybe we need to get some Grits and Glitter t-shirts or I don't know.
We
But
can do that.
we can do that. So, but I'm looking forward to hanging with you and seeing, and seeing what the
Yes.
Pride's all about. And you have some incredible things that are coming up for Pride. What are you doing? Where are the
I
places you're going to
do.
be dropping in for Pride?
I do. There's a lot that's happening this year in the month of June here in South Florida. So for Pride, I will be out. A couple of my clients that I work with, they're going to have booths out. They're going to be present. I'll be stopping by and say, hey, with them for a little bit. One of my closest friends here throws a Pride party in the afternoon. So I'll be hitting up his spot. Shout out to him. I'm gonna be everywhere, child. I'm gonna be everywhere.
Are you,
On
are you going to go
June,
to Hunters? Shout out to
I
Hunters.
mean, yes, those are people. Yeah, probably. For me, I'm all about pride. Most memories and best memories and things like that. Pride is just being with my friends.
Yeah.
Pride is really just having a good kicking time with my friends. It's not about, I'm also not that type of person that's like, let me just go hang out at the bar and sit in the bar with a cocktail and just stand around. But I can do that at home for free.
We called that the S&M bars, stand and model bars.
Hello, no, I can model my black behind in my bed on the couch with a cocktail if I choose to. No, I
Oh
don't need
my
to do that.
goodness.
I'm just saying, but I'm not old. But it's really about being it's about being with my friends
Yeah,
for Pride. That's what the memory is for me. And I love this year Stonewall Pride. Shout out to Hotspots. It's happening out television. Some of our community partners as well. They're doing like a glow theme night for the parade and all those sorts of things. So that's all going to be fun and really cool. So I'm excited for that. A few days later, there's a tremendous amount of events throughout the day on Juneteenth, which is, that's to me, that's still a part of Pride. That's just, 4 days
absolutely.
later, 4 days
Yeah,
later or
absolutely.
whatnot. I'll be celebrating a special day that day. But there's a lot of events on June 19th as well here. And then a week later is my concert. So,
Absolutely. And what is your
really
concert called? What?
my concert is called Being Black and Gay, presented by
Hello.
Hunter's Nightclub.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. And we're going
Yes.
to be on Queer Nightly News coming up, you and me.
We are Queer
Oh my
News
goodness.
Tonight.
Queer News tonight. Better learn their name,
Absolutely.
child.
Yes. Shout out to
I'm like
them
Queer
as
Nightly
well.
News.
Right. Like this ain't CNN, girl. Queer Nightly News. We
It's
on
on
the,
NBC. Are we not going to be on ABC?
I mean, someday, we could be. Let's manifest that. Hello.
What I want to
So
do is give.
listen. So
Go ahead.
listen, who's making a difference for you as we talk about all this pride stuff
Right.
and as we celebrate in the month of June. And again, you and I, we are firm believers in celebrating all year long, but
Yeah.
specifically in this month, who's making a difference
So
for you?
before we jump into who's making a difference, I'm going to lead right into who making a difference. I want to give a shout out to places all over the world where you can go to Pride. Sao Paulo's having
Yeah.
their Pride on June 1st. Pride in Philadelphia, that's happening June 2nd. LA Pride is actually June 8th and 9th. New Orleans, hey, New Orleans is
Hey.
June 8th. Baltimore Pride is June 10th through the 16th. Our own Pride is going to be June 15th, and that's Wilton Manor's Stonewall Pride. The Tri-State Black Pride,
Whoop, whoop.
going there. Whoa. That is June 13th through the 16th. And I think we said New York Pride is going to be at the end of the month.
Yes.
And Nashville Pride is June 22nd through the 23rd. My birthday. My birthday. And San Francisco
Yeah.
Pride is always the very end. They shut down the Pride season, which is June 29th to the 30th. So we got a lot of events out there. So I want y'all to get out there. So my who's making a difference is someone that I've always admired, and I've loved how she's blown up in the recent time, is Laverne Cox. And I know, right? What can we say? Laverne Cox. What I love about, first of all, she has a great documentary on Netflix. As you see it, called Disclosure.
Absolutely.
And it's how Hollywood has represented the trans community in depicting of the trans experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Although there is no ugly in the family of God. Hallelujah. You see how I did that? I brought it right back to church. You see how I did that? There's no ugly. Anyway, I love what she's done. I love her as an actress. I can't even tell you, when we talk about Orange is the New Black, she was my favorite character.
Yes.
She was actually the first trans woman to be nominated for an Emmy.
Absolutely.
She's blown up. She had a talk show that was on Peacock about the queer experience, which I absolutely loved. But off camera, she's been an activist for trans rights, for transgender. She's been an activist for drag queens. She has been a vocal and out there in the forefront. And I love, she does all the red carpets now for the Oscars. And when she shows up, I don't know who has a glam squad. Her glam's, damn. I'm just gonna oh, I have been like, oh my God, she is her glam squad. So she's a fashionista. She
Yes.
is
Yes,
brilliant.
she
She's
is.
making a difference because she's won the GLAAD Award, GLAAD Media Award.
Mhm.
Just her being out there unapologetically Black and trans and queer and fabulous. For me, for Pride, because every Pride episode, we're doing many more Pride episodes coming up. I want to make a difference with someone who's out there, who's making a difference in the Pride community. Huh. That's it. That's
I
who's
love
making
it.
a difference for me.
Did you know that she has a degree in opera?
I do.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I got to interview her on stage last year at a gala. It was basically, and so many people said they felt like they were an audience member watching our talk show. Like it
There you
was
go.
amazing.
Well,
It
we
was
should get her on
amazing.
the talk show, maybe,
Right. And we had a
or
little
our
moment where
podcast.
we sang some opera together. Like she's amazing. She's amazing.
Ooh, Lord
Yes.
have mercy.
Yes.
Who's making a difference for you?
So, who's making a difference for me is an incredible organization in South Florida that is celebrating their 42nd year of making an impact in the LGBTQ plus community. And I want to also state that before I introduce them, that not only are they supporting LGBTQ individuals, they take everybody. So they help everybody. So if you are straight, Black, blue, green, Barney, they don't care. You
Yeah,
need help, they got
powerful,
your back. So I
powerful.
want to shout out an incredible organization that I strongly believe is making a difference in our community, and their name is Pride Lines. They are based in
Hey,
Miami, yes, based in Miami-Dade County, and they provide health and wellness services to the LGBTQ plus community. Again, for 42 years strong, regardless of socioeconomic status, they are getting individuals into healthcare services. Other programs include mental health,
mhm.
which is big in our society right now, therapy, social support groups, senior groups. That to me is amazing. Focusing on our aging population,
Why you keep
hugely
looking at me
important.
when you said that?
Girl, you ain't that far. I'm just kidding. I love you. Senior groups,
Yes,
housing, and so much more. To know Pride Lines is really to witness, as we've been talking this whole entire episode. That's Pride.
yeah,
They do so
absolutely.
much work in community engagement and development that showcases a tremendous level of pride. They are led by a new fearless executive director named Dr. Edward Summers,
Yes,
who will be on our show very,
love
very
him,
soon.
and he's
And
cute,
I,
and he's cute.
yeah,
He's got a body of
she
life. I'm
cute,
like, what?
she
We saw
cute.
him in the neighborhood, in the neighborhood. I was like,
I know.
damn, that's under all that.
Cha,
What?
you missed the event the other night that we had
What was?
I went to with them, honey. She came in this shirt that was little see-through holes in it. She said, it's hot. I'm hot. Who
I
cares if it's
love
my event and
people
I'm the
to be
executive
that
director? He was
fabulous.
like, it's hot.
I love
I
it.
know, I love
You
it.
can be
I
that
love it.
fabulous and rock the house. So Pride Lines, we
100%.
will definitely put Pride Lines email information in our program notes. So look for that.
Absolutely.
That's powerful, powerful. Boo!
Yeah.
Pride Month. We are here.
I
Here it is.
know. We're
We are in
here.
it.
We're here. We're queer.
We're here. This is episode number 9. We have another one coming up. All month long, we're going to be highlighting Pride episodes for the Pride Month. But listen, everything we do is Pride. Everything we do is black,
Exactly.
black, 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 black. In fact,
Negative. Blick, blick,
you
blick.
know, people go, "Were you at a gay bar the other night?" It's like every bar I'm in is a gay bar because I was there.
Hello? Because I was
Hello.
there. Right.
So I love you, brother. Thank you so
I
much
love
for being on this
you.
journey with us. And y'all, don't forget, please reach out to us on our email. It is, what is it, Terry? I always
Grits
ask
and
you.
glitter. You do always ask me. Grits and glitter pod at gmail.com. She always
I'm
asks
always
me.
going, we would be in a
We have so many
conversation.
Gmails, child.
We be doing marketing conversation with people going, Terry, what's our email? Well, you're the younger one, so you need to remember all this stuff.
Oh, thanks.
And
But
also,
yes,
please
our
follow
email
us
is
on social media, y'all. We are at
yes,
Grits and Glitter Pod, and our website should be up very, very soon, which is Grits and Glitter Pod, and it's going to be
yes,
fabulous. Make sure you love and like us because that's how we get the information out there. We got to share the love, man. Tell people about
yes,
us, you know.
yes.
And article. This is our 6th article.
Woo!
Shout out to Out SFL. And if you go to
Yes, love y'all.
outsfl.org, you'll be able to see, or it's .com, I think it's .com, that you'll
.com.
be able to look up Grits and Glitter Column. And we are doing some incredible things. I am so incredibly excited when we can sit down and we come up and we have our conversation. What we're going to talk about, what we're going to do, and da, 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 da. I love the articles, so y'all can read what we're putting out there as well.
Love it. Love it.
Love it.
All right, there's another one. And
There's another one. Hey, y'all, remember, be kind to people, because kindness is what, Terry?
It's free.
It's free. It's free. Hey, y'all, we love you. We'll see you, or you'll hear us, or go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
Yes.
Join our YouTube page, and you can get all our YouTube episodes as well. So we're on there. I love you, brother.
Love you too. See y'all soon.
See you soon. Peace and blessings. Remember to like, share, and leave a comment wherever you listen to your podcast.